So what do we do to get people when we're building our list into the conversion event, and why is it important to have a conversion event that actually works? This can be, the conversion event can be things like workshops. I like doing workshops personally, 5-day challenges, for example. You can have what's called a master classes. You can do webinars. You can even do discovery call. A lot of people think that if you just kind of have this, like, a lot of people spend a lot of times on sales pages, and they think by pushing people to sales pages, we're going to get sales. And, you know, sometimes it's true, right? Sometimes you have these evergreen products that actually work that way, or whatever the funnel looks like. But very rarely, especially when you're just starting, when you're under 6 figures, is that going to work. So I would scrub that right away, because we need to have immediate feedback and immediate interaction on what's going on. So my recommendation is to create some kind of conversion event, whether it's as simple as a discovery call, one-to-one, a webinar, a masterclass, a 5-day challenge, and a workshop. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to delve a little bit into the structure of this thing and what it can actually look like going forward. All right. It's one of the biggest things that we can do. Let's do that right now. So I always teach my people a workshop. It's what I'm really, really good at. It's something that I feel quite strongly about, because I know a lot of people like to do master classes because they're well scripted. I like workshops because they provide immediate feedback, and they actually provide some kind of benefit for the people who are watching. So I'm a big fan of workshops. So let's break down the workshop that we have, okay? Workshop breakdown. And realistically, the workshop breakdown is going to be in 3 different components, actually 4. You have what's called an introduction, okay? You have what's called the content. You have the transition, and you have the close here. All right, the 4 different things, and there's different components that are really, really important throughout each one. Let's have a chat for a second, okay? The content fundamentally is the longest portion here, the longest portion, which is going to be fundamentally, typically most of you are going to have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever. It's normally going to be between 3 and 5 different learning points, okay? And this is also a great chance to be able to show your flash through testimonials, through some success stories, especially if you have numbers, and be able to measure it that way, okay? The other thing that's really, really important is that the next, and so that's going to take the majority of your time. That's the majority of your time on these things, okay? And we always call it the 3 Ws. Fundamentally, inside our program, we call it the 3 Ws, which are what are the 3 things you have to teach to make things real, okay? 3 things that must be true in order to happen are the things that you're going to teach here, all right? So that's number 1. The other thing but the most important part really are going to be these 2 parts, and most of you already know it, which is the introduction here and also the close here, okay? The transition here really is moving from the content to be able to deliver the close in kind of like a smooth kind of way, all right? So what are different components that are really, really important? Why does it matter? Well, a lot of the setup needs to happen in the introduction and the close. And I will tell you this much. Part of the reason why I would like every single one of you to have some kind of masterclass in your back pocket, or at least start thinking about it, because essentially what it is all the components of a sale that you need. It's all like the close has things like logistics. It has things like what you actually accomplish. It has things like the promise, right? Obviously, it has the price points, but it also has things like, your stack slide. Your stack slide, there it is, your stack slide, right? It has things like your bonuses, if you're offering bonuses. And that's a really important piece. Why is that important, James? Because when we have a discovery call, or when we have other things, and I was just talking to Claudia about doing like a 2-hour workshop where it's more of a workshop style, instead of like I do a lot of masterclass with workshop components, she's going to do a workshop. And the reason why I'm saying that we need the workshop anyways is because we need all the components fleshed out anyways, right? Whether it's logistics, what you actually accomplish, the promise, the price point, the stack slide, the bonuses, all those things need to be okay. The other thing that's really, really important is going to be up here, right? Your introduction. You have things like future pacing. Can you imagine life when right? You have things like your roadmap. There's things like the pre-sale. I really like the pre-sale. The pre-sale is basically, you know what, my friends, I'm absolutely going to get you to a close. And believe it or not, when we actually pre-sell, we actually get more people to stay for the actual close than normal. So one of the things I'm going to encourage you to do is whether you have one scheduled or not, is really create a masterclass or a workshop, because it forces you to think about all the components that you're going to talk about, right? The content with the 3 to 5 points you can reuse in podcasts, you can reuse in summits, you can reuse in giveaways, you can reuse in lead magnets, things like the close, the logistics, what you actually accomplish, promise. These are things you should have sorted out anyways on what you do, okay? And then the introduction, what you're future pacing, the roadmap, and the pre-sales, so we get really comfortable with that idea about selling. All right, my friends, all the best. Good to chat with you. All right, let me know in the comments below what you learned here. I'm curious what it is. All right, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.